Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the masterpiece that is Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Of course, if you want to know the difference between the two is one ending follows the manga and the other ending doesn't follow the manga as Full Metal Alchemist. I'm pretty sure it's been a minute since I've seen the series. Caught up with the series and doesn't follow the ending of the manga, so they remade it into Brotherhood, where they speed everything up in timeline order and they follow the ending to the manga. So like very two different endings, but very great very great shows, as they both talk about the equivalent exchange. As everyone that use alchemy in this world, alchemy is very prevalent in the world, has to do something with equivalent exchange. To gain the power of alchemy, you have to give something in order to give the power of alchemy. The two brothers consequently did not know this, as they try to bring back their mom in the first couple episodes that we learned. Of course, it's followed by the popular Edward and Alphonse Eldrick brothers. They're the mainstays, they're the main characters of the story, as they ventured out trying to find a human philosopher's stone. That philosopher's stones are also made of human corpses or human bloods. That's their main ingredient, of course. With that, Edward does come to a realization that to defeat Father, which is the end all antagonist of the story, to defeat him, he has to sacrifice his own power of alchemy to defeat him, which is sacrifice life. I'm not sure, but sacrifice that little wall door life, that little alchemy thing that you see when he has to do equivalent exchange, sacrifice all that to defeat Father. I ain't gonna lie, that was tough. Yeah, the beauty of the story of the equivalent exchange, that you can never give anything. You know, to get something, something has to be taken away from you, and it's a lovely lesson, of course, that is presented by the story, a life lesson that if you want something and get something, something has to be sacrificed, something has to be taken away from you, whether you like it or not. But if you want it bad enough, you have to sacrifice something. Whether that's going to hurt you or not remains to be seen, but you know, something has to be taken away for you to get something that you want to acquire. Well, that's the theme of the Full Metal Alchemist series, of give and take. Now, the other characters in the show, of course, that we all love is Hughes. Hughes is a very beloved character that had to die off very early in the story, because if he didn't, the story would be about 6-7 chapters. He was killed by one of the homuncle. I don't know all their names, but there's Greed, there's Edward and Alphonse's father. I can't think of his name, and I was trying to do research, but I couldn't really find his name. He was the strongest of the homuncle, as they're all basically walking philosopher's stones from the creation of Father, like they're his experiments. And you know, that's one of the best characters, at least for me, and I'll do a character review on him later. The father of Edward and Alphonse, as he left his wife, who wasn't sick at the time, but he had to leave his wife, he had to leave his kids that he loved very dearly. Even comes back to the scene of their death, scene of the burial of his beloved wife. He has to leave and go out and stop the homuncle to try to revive Father and try to stop this great transmutation of the world that we see all around, that Hughes figured out. And you know, it's very intricate, very smart. The power system is very tricky, of course, saying who is the most powerful, who is not powerful. Of course, the most powerful users is the ones that could use alchemy straight off the bat. Father, Edward and Alphonse's father, and Edward himself, along with the dude in the corpse that I can't think of, I'm not gonna lie. They are all insanely powerful, as they are able to use alchemy just right off the bat, of course, and not many people have access to that. Like Alphonse, Edward's brother, got the short end of the stick, as he's only able to use alchemy once he draws the transmutation circle. Now, he's still extremely powerful, as he was just a suit of armor. So, physically, he's just extremely powerful against regular opponents, but he has to use transmutation circles for alchemy reasons, which sucks. I'm not gonna lie, throughout the whole show, because it's like, cool, we see an Edward do all his thing, but Alphonse barely got some shine in the show. Now, he got some love in some arcs. I'm not tossing that out, Not throwing that out. But I would love to see him do more than Edward. Like, between the two brothers, they of course focused more on Edward, as Edward had the most power and he was the most outspoken between the two. Plus, he was the older brother between the two. No. Was Edward younger? Oh, I don't remember. Rather, Edward was younger or older than his brother for this story. Of course, they were trained by strong alchemy people that can use alchemy. Now, I do want to say, if you do want to watch the show and this is your intro to the show, I'm so sorry. But go watch the show. It's very good, very follows the story of two brothers. It, of course, encourages friendship, but doesn't rely on the power of friendship, so thank you. Come on now. But, of course, with all of this, you should really check out the story. If I had to rate it out of 10, I think it's an 8 out of 10. I personally didn't like the ending of Edward having to give up his powers. Of course, I liked Alphonse getting his body back, but why did everyone remain to have alchemy and Edward had to lose alchemy? Edward, really? Like, he had a Deku ending, and I hate the Deku ending by my video on Sunday. So like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.